What's going on, guys? Expendables. Those old fogies will not stop cranking out movies. They're teaming up now, but there was a time when they fought to see who ruled the 80s action box office. We're gonna decide right here, right now, what is the greatest 80s action film of all time. And we have a super cool panel to help us figure that out. First, he is one of the schmoes of Schmoes Know, Christian Harloff.
What's going on? I can't wait to tempt this guy with how many Arnold impressions will be done in this episode.
He's also a schmo. He's the cute one, the boy band schmo. It's Mark Ellis.
And he's single, girls.
And we're very lucky to have this guy from Red Letter Media, Jay Bauman.
Hello, I'm from Milwaukee. It does exist.
So guys, there were a lot of movies to choose from to put together our 16 movie bracket. The 80s was a long decade. There were at least 10 years in the 80s, and there were a lot of movies to choose from, so we have some ground rules. The movies we picked have to include either a terrorist, a drug lord, buddy cops, or Schwarzenegger or Stallone. As I was saying, we have 16 films, and we wanted to seed them as objectively as possible, so we used the IMDb rankings. Totally objective, all right? Christian,
Yes, sir.
We'll start with you.
All right.
First matchup, the #1 movie, Die Hard, against the number 16 seed, Sylvester Stallone's Cobra.
You don't go up against Jordan if you're not even in the pros. Die Hard.
Jay?
Well, Die Hard is not just a great 80s action movie, but just a great movie in general. Cobra is not as good of a movie, but it does have the best death of the villain of any of the movies on this
so
list.
good.
Yeah.
Grabs the guy, impales him on a giant hook, and then he goes through a furnace.
That's a brutal movie, and it goes down in brutal defeat. Die Hard, moving on to the next round. Next in the bracket setup, our number 9 seed, 48 Hours, against our number 8 seed, Escape from New York. Now, Jay, I see you're wearing an Escape from New York t-shirt.
I am.
I gotta hear from you first on this one.
Escape from New York is one of my favorite movies, period, but it's not a good action movie. It's very clunky and awkward and slow.
So who do you like? 48 Hours or Escape from New York, which you are talking.
I'm gonna go with Escape from New York because I love
Okay.
it, even though I don't think it works as an action movie.
Ellis.
Hey, look, March Madness is about chemistry, and I love Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. They're very funny together, but on screen, they're at each other's throats the whole movie. I think Snake Plissken takes this one.
Well, I wish my vote counted for 3 because I'm taking 48 hours.
And that means nothing. Escape from New York escapes the first round. Next, we have a number 4 seed against a number 13 seed. Number 4, Lethal Weapon, against number 13, Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
Okay, now look, though, I just took the one where the individual beats the team. I can't do it again. As much as I love John Rambo, Riggs and Murtaugh, they had better sequels than Rambo did, too, so I gotta go with Lethal Weapon. Gets the W.
One for Lethal Weapon. Harloff.
Rambo blows up a guy with an arrow, an exploding arrow. It's the first time anyone saw something like that. It's like
That is
for
better
reason.
than anything in Lethal Weapon.
But it's not better than Riggs and Murtaugh. Lethal Weapon takes it. I'm sorry, John.
Oh, Lethal Weapon in a romp. The next one in this bracket, number 12 seed, Roadhouse, against number 5, Robocop.
Robocop's an icon.
Ellis?
You know, sometime a 12 beats a 5 every year in March Madness, but it ain't happening this time.
Yeah.
Roadhouse loses to Murphy.
I'll buy
Yeah.
that for $1.
Okay, here's a high seed against a low seed. Our number 2 seed, The Terminator, against number 15, Delta Force.
I like Terminator better than Terminator 2, so I would always take Terminator. It's one of my favorites. of all
Okay,
time.
Jay?
I also like the first Terminator more than the second one, and
Yeah.
I've never seen Delta Force.
All right. Oh, this is another barn burner. Our number 10 seed, Schwarzenegger's Commando, against number 7, Big Trouble in Little China. Jay, gotta start with you again on this one.
Again, I love John Carpenter, I love Big Trouble in Little China, but as far as 80s action movies go, I gotta go with Commando.
Wow,
That is
okay.
the perfect 80s action movie.
Yeah, look, as much as I love Kurt Russell in the 80s, I can't take him over Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially when he's looking for Alyssa Milano. That's something that I do every other week.
Harloff.
Big Trouble in Little China is a very fun, entertaining adventure film, and it's Kurt Russell at his heights, again, rocking a fantastic mullet.
You're hung up on these mullets,
You
man.
have to have a great mullet to
It
be
was the 80s,
considered.
yeah.
You have to have a great one. But even though he doesn't have a mullet, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando is like Henny Youngman, just throwing jokes out. Like,
Do me a favor. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
no contest.
Great. Oh boy, here's another high seed, low seed matchup. Back to Schwarzenegger with Predator coming in at number 3, and number 14, Steven Seagal, Above the Law. Ellis?
I think Predator might be the most dangerous team in this entire tournament. I think seeding it at 3 is doing a disservice to everybody else, including this team that has to play it. Predator wins easily.
Jay?
Predator, by far.
So Predator moves on there. And our last matchup of the first round, Schwarzenegger again in The Running Man against Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, that's a tough.
Jay.
I think I'm gonna have to go with The Running Man because I always think of Beverly Hills Cop as more of a comedy than an action movie.
He's not falling for a banana in his tailpipe. He's picking Running Man. Ellis.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be Eddie Murphy a lot more than I wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. I gotta go with Beverly Hills Cop.
Running Man was the first Hunger Games and Battle Royal, and it's a Stephen King short story. It has the most effort to it behind it. It's a really fun movie, and it has Richard Dawson. Running Man wins.
Wow, guys, so we end the first round with the 11 seed taking down the 6 seed. Let's go to round 2. We have our number 1 seed Die Hard against our number 8 seed Escape from New York. Ellis?
Die Hard. I think Bruce Willis is going to be the Danny Manning of this tournament, where he's just going to run through everybody, and he's going to do it through Kurt Russell. Not literally, because that sounds weird.
Jay?
I love that you're using all these basketball bracket terms because I don't know what the hell we're talking about. But Die Hard is a better action movie than Escape from New York.
There you go.
I wanted to get rid of him in the first round. Now I can get rid of him in the second round. See you later, Snake. I'm a big fan, but it's all about John McClane.
Die Hard moving on in a romp. Okay, ooh, it's another good one. We got the number 4 seed, Lethal Weapon, against the number 5 seed, Robocop.
How I'm going to base this is what it spawned. It spawned 2, 3, and Robocop flying. So because of that, the franchise in whole, I'm going with Riggs and Murtaugh. That was really tough.
Ellis.
If we're talking about basketball, you can't judge Michael Jordan based on what his kids have done. I'm going to go with Robocop is going to defeat Lethal Weapon, because Lethal Weapon was very funny, but Robocop had a dark sense of humor with it, along with all that great action. Robocop takes it in the upset
The
for me.
schmoes are divided, and Jay, guess what? Your vote decides this.
Nobody gets doused in toxic waste in Lethal Weapon, so I have to go with RoboCop.
Sorry, Lethal Weapon is getting too old for this
You got a crazy man on the phone.
The rest of this thing is all Schwarzenegger. Number 2, Terminator against number 10, Commando. Jay.
Terminator's a better movie. It's got more ideas going on. It's got better action. It's not as funny, of course, but it's a better movie overall.
Ellis.
It doesn't matter what I say, because I know what Christian's going to answer, and I don't want to get tons of internet hate, so I'll say Terminator.
Christian.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm going to say, because I don't know what I'm going to say at this point, because Commando for me is a movie that, like Jay said, you can laugh your balls off watching that movie. It's so stupid and great.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Keep your balls and get Terminator.
Terminator.
All right. Commando's going to go let off some steam.
Let off some steam, Bennett. Gotta do it. He's gone.
Okay, our last matchup of the second round. Number 3, Predator against number 11, Running Man. Whoo, boy. Ellis.
But if this was a game show, then I think Running Man would be voted off the island real quick. Yeah. Predator for the win, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon, boys.
Harloff?
Predator is a movie, I don't care if it's an 80s movie, this is a movie that holds up today. It is just a fantastic movie for team, for performances, everything about it.
Yeah, what about the supporting cast in Predator?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, even the minor character, like Jesse Ventura, he's in it for 2 seconds, but he's so memorable. All the characters.
Carl Weathers is in it.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers is in Predator, guys.
What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils? Huh?
Jay, thoughts?
Running Man is minor Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Predator, it starts out as Rambo and it turns into Alien by the end, and it's great.
Wow, that's a great summation of it. Predator, moving on. Big moment, you guys. We are down to the final 4. Die Hard versus Robocop. Jay, thoughts?
I love RoboCop. I love the ideas in it. I think it's a really clever satire, but as far as straight-ahead 80s action goes, I have to go with Die Hard.
One for Die Hard. Christian.
Die Hard's going to be moving on, but look, as far as RoboCop is, it is an absolutely tremendous story as well, because what they did, they took chances with that film. But Die Hard, what you did with John McClane, it just resonated with audiences, so Die Hard.
Ellis, thoughts?
Look, Alex Murphy had a robot suit. John McClane didn't even have shoes.
Yeah.
Die Hard is moving on to the finals.
Die Hard, moving on to the finals. And once again, we come to Schwarzenegger on Schwarzenegger crime. Terminator versus the Predator. Wow.
Ooh, man.
That is the hardest fight so far.
Wow, Ellis, we're going to start off with you, buddy.
This has been the subject of many a bar debate late night with Mark Ellis. Terminator franchise versus Predator, but I think that if you're going with the first Predator versus the first Terminator, it's not a contest. Predator is moving on.
Oh, boy. Okay, that is one for the Predator. Christian?
Again, I'm doing the same thing I did before as far as single movie and then franchise, because there's only been one good Predator movie.
You know, I gotta say, we're not talking franchise versus franchise.
I know, but I didn't
Christian.
I didn't pick. I didn't pick yet.
I just want to take that off the
what
table.
Is fun? The movie itself. Oh man, Predator versus Terminator. Predator with the team aspect and the one-liners and the Predator wins.
Jay?
I think Terminator is a really great science fiction story, but as far as like a straight ahead action movie goes, I think Predator is a better action movie.
Yep.
Damn you, Hal.
This is what it's all about, you guys. It comes down to two movies that cut through all the rounds without a single defeat. Bruce Willis in Die Hard, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Predator. Two great 80s action films. Let's give them both a round of applause.
Well done. Gentlemen.
Ellis, talk to me.
This is the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. And I don't know what that says about me as a human, but it is. I think this game goes into overtime, and I think that the reason why it wins is because of that scene when John McClane jumps off the roof as it's exploding. It's still one of the greatest moments in film history, and that's why Die Hard gets a W in OT.
Die Hard, 1-0, Christian Harloff.
You're an evil bastard, you know that? And I'm not just hedging bets, but I am going to say Predator here.
Ooh, wow.
This was Schwarzenegger in his prime. This is Schwarzenegger where you see him as that badass action star we know he is. If you're going purely 80s, Predator just that much. I'm sorry, John McClane, you're one of my favorites of all time, but Sylvester Stallone says you're a dick, so for that.
This is a great moment in sports, you guys. It all comes down deadlocked, 1-1, Die Hard, Predator. Jay.
I'm the wrong person for this time.
You're all we've got.
It's so sad for everybody involved.
This is a John McClane Nakatomi situation.
Yeah.
We got the villain Ellis from Die Hard here.
Yeah.
Personally, I like Predator more, but if we're talking 80s action movies, I think of, everyday action star, all-American action star fighting weird foreign people, and that's Die Hard.
Die Hard is the greatest 80s action film of all time. And yeah, it's also one of the great Christmas movies of all time, and it's also got one of the great villains of all time. What do you think is the greatest 80s action movie of all time? What do you think of these guys' picks? Let us know in the comments section below. Best answer, we're gonna send you a Screen Junkies t-shirt. I gotta thank my esteemed panel, Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, Schmoes Know. Subscribe to Schmoes Know, and check out Jay Bauman on Red Letter Media. It is fantastic. I'm Hal Rudnick. Thanks for watching. Hit me up on Twitter. Bye-bye.